I gotta say, last week's holiday special episode is probably my favorite episode I've done for this podcast. Had some guests, had some good questions, did a year-end recap, but there's one thing that we didn't do. We touched on it, we tickled it a little bit, but we didn't dive in to the top 10 best hardcore and metal albums of 2010. There was a couple on my list, and they will be represented here today. But we're going to do a deeper dive into that shit. I'm also going to look at who you think had the best albums of 2025. But I'm going to play a little bit of a snippet of each band on my list. Will it go long? Who knows? Will it go short? Maybe. I'm not feeling the best, so I'm not really going to overexert myself on this one, but it's definitely going to be fun. Now, this is essentially just going to be a music episode because I didn't really do anything outside of the music realm this week as far as podcast goes. I don't talk about wrestling too often, but I did finalize the Indie Movement Top 50, which is something I do every single year, and I have done every year since I think 2015. It's where I compile a list based on match quality, achievements, win-loss record, and like cultural impact in the world of independent wrestling. Independent wrestling, for those who might not know, is pretty much the step below what you see on TV. The young guys, the guys who never quite made it, they're working and they're grinding to, get that spotlight that the people on TV like WWE, TNA, AEW have. So they're just putting on some crazy matches and putting on some great stories in like your local VFW halls and Elks Lodges and White Eagle pubs and Upper Village halls and shit like that, smaller venues. Usually in front of like anywhere between like 100 and 1,000 people in attendance. And yeah, this has been my life for about 11 years now. 11, 12 years now. It has been mainly horror movies, heavy music, and independent wrestling. And normally I would enjoy making this list, but I had so many things going on with me this year. I didn't start it until super, super late, so the last like 2 or 3 weeks have just been me going, and running around and just watching shit feverishly and taking notes and just not cracking a smile ever. It was very painstakingly difficult for me to do all this, especially when I'm essentially the only person who runs the page now. I've got 3 admins. 2 of them are me. One of them is the guy who gives me my iWrestling TV account for free because I let him advertise on the page. And yeah, so it's me, and me doing all this shit. Just so much. I almost hate it, but I love it. The things I do for the shit that I love. But as of an hour, I finished the list. Finally, and it's going up on socials by the end of the night. I got shit to do tonight, and I gotta record this podcast, so I ain't doing both of them at the same fucking time. But now that that's done, I can enjoy my day, I can enjoy my music talk, I can play you some good shit that I recommend you, because that is my favorite thing in the world. So prepare your ear pussies, I'm about to go in raw. This is Killing Time.
What you doing, son? Nothing. Just chilling. Killing. True.
Robert, I just learned that babies are not dishwasher safe. We need to leave.
How this week I asked my podcast question on all my social media platforms, and the one that I never get any responses from is the one that blew up. Let's go. On Facebook, William Mercier says, Astronoid, Star God. I've seen Astronoid's name pop up around the last couple months, and I haven't checked them out. Not a single song. But I trust you, dude. I trust you. I respect your opinions on music, so I'll definitely give that a shot. And while it might not make the list, because the list has already been made, it could probably be on heavy rotation. I might listen to that shit while I'm at work. So I'll definitely check out Astronoid's new album, Star God. Ethan of the band Quick Before the Outbreak says, Greyhaven's Keep It Quiet was his number one, but Kayanashi's I Want to Go Home and Callous Dowboy's I Don't Want to See You in Heaven are close picks. Dude, I can see both Kayanashi and Callous Dowboys being up there for Album of the Year for you, because that shit fits you to a T. Chaotic, beautiful, aggressive, all over the place. Fuck yeah. I have not checked out Greyhaven. Once again, I guess I'm slacking on this shit, but I will check them out ASAP. Looks like I gotta make a playlist for me to check things out after this fucking podcast drops. Shit. And here I was, thinking I was well prepared for this shit. TJ from the hardcore band TFR says, It's a Beautiful Day, What a Beautiful Day by the band Skinhead. And I completely agree, that is an incredible thing. It would have made it on my list, but I just barely edged out with that, because I love all these other ones so much. I think I was like, in my consideration, there was like 4 bands that I was like, maybe, and then upon re-listening to everything, I kind of ruled those out. That was in that ruling out class, but that album is incredible. And Luke Alexander says the new Signs of the Swarm album. I mean, I can't say it for the whole thing. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but the couple singles that dropped, I listened to those and my jaw hit the floor. And then I promptly forgot that it fucking existed and never followed up with it. So that's completely on my fault. Man, I look like a chode right now with the fact that I can't. God damn it. Shooting myself in the foot here. Hey, maybe my list isn't 100% accurate right now because I forgot about a couple things. I can guarantee you one thing though. It is well-rounded. It's gonna hit hard. And you're gonna like that shit. Like Men's Warehouse. I guarantee it.
Okay, just a dash of cunt. Oh no, the cap fell off. Too much cunt.
It kind of sounds like Joe Rogan. Cunty Joe Rogan. What a bitch. Gridiron dropped one hell of an album this year, combining the aggression of hardcore and the style of hip-hop into one great fucking sound, dude. This album had a hold on me for the first week that it came out. My favorite tracks on the album is Army of One, and there's also this other track featuring like 4 fucking rappers, and that's a whole vibe because everybody goes the fuck off. Saying now, me being a rapper myself, I got like hardcore, and then a rap song, and I was like, bro, what? And it was good. Oh, bro, I have to remember the name of that song. Okay, I just looked it up. Before I forget, it's called Still Playing. Album number 9 on my top 10 goes to Salvation Lapse by Psychoframe. This is one of the few times where I've been told to check this album out so much for so long that I finally gave in, and it was worth the hype. This album was fucking great. This band perfectly encapsulates the whole MySpace deathcore band feel. This album felt like something straight out of 2008, and I loved it. And while that was good, there was really nothing that kept me coming back repeatedly. It was a good initial listen that blew me away, and then like upon second listen, I was just like, that's fine, and I moved on. That's why it ranked so low for me. But I know so many people that love this, and I completely agree with them. It is good. Honestly, it might just be like when I found out about it, it wasn't the peak time for me to find out about it, you know? That happens a lot. Local boys Iron Gate make the list at number 8 with Crushing Weight of Existence. Goddamn, this is heavy. I've said it multiple times before on this podcast, but Iron Gate is that perfect middle ground between deathcore and hardcore. Perfect amount of elements. It's got that hardcore punk feel, but it also has those low, growly vocals and breakdowns. That's why I love this band so much. Easily the heaviest entity to ever come out of New Hampshire, bar none. Of course, as you could tell, Ego Trip is my favorite song off the album, but Chokehold is fucking dope too. Definitely check out The Crushing Weight of Existence on all streaming platforms. Speaking of hardcore though, my number 7 of top 10 heavy albums of the year is Crush Your Soul, Living Gracious. Crush Your Soul came out swinging this year, and this album is incredible. That perfect hardcore sound. If you're a fan of Mind Force, they got some of that feel in there. It's the same singer, if you didn't know that. But this just hits perfect. In between occasional songs, there are little interludes that really help increase the vibe of the next upcoming song. Every track slaps. This is one of the 2 albums on my list today that when I first heard it, like 2 songs in, I was like, oh, this is a vibe. This is going to be the soundtrack to my day today. And I just had the whole album on repeat, and I listened to nothing else but that album all day. And I'm not even mad. Sometimes I do that again. Like, it fits the vibe for when I'm just walking around town or when I just want to scratch that hardcore itch. It's nothing new. It's nothing over the top, but it's fucking really, really well done. One day I stumble upon a single, the next week, whole album drops, and my life is changed. Hurting You by Squelching, clips number 6. Honestly, this might be the filthiest sounding snare in the game right now, with some of the most disgusting lows on my entire list. You put those things together, and yeah, they deserve to snag a top 10 spot. For me, this band came out of nowhere. I don't know what the fuck is in the water in Oklahoma, but it breeds bands like this and Peeling Flesh, and I am thankful for them. Top 5, baby! Number 5 goes to A Door Left Open by Orthodox. Now, I will say, this is one of the cases in this list where the singles really, really helped out with the album placement. Because not every song, in my opinion, is a banger. But about 80% of this is a banger. The singles are incredible. If this thing was only an EP and had nothing but the singles on it, this would be like 1 or 2. But it's not, so it's not. This is number 5, strictly off the basis of... This album seems like if King 810 was good. Like, if they just continued making this shit from, like, Alpha and Omega and Fat Around the Heart and shit like that, that would be what this Orthodox album is. So it kind of quenches my feeling for, like, what could have been but never came to be. So for that, I thank it. Once again, singles fucking slap. Everything else, still really good. Nothing insane, though. In the Absence Of by Burying Point makes it to number 4. This album was heavy as fuck, let me tell you. Vocally, at times, kind of sounded like Xibalba. Equally as heavy as Iron Gate, more to the deathcore side of things. I remember listening to this album while I was on the sales floor at work and just having the hardest fucking stank face of all time. And coworkers coming up to me asking me what I was mad about, if I'm in a bad mood. Am I in pain? Because it kind of seemed like I was wincing. And I'm like, nah, dude, this album's just heavy as balls. And I want to just commit crimes to this music. Blood Tithe has to be the band I have featured the most on this podcast. And, you know, rightfully so. They fucking slap. And their new album, Blood for the Starving God has reached number 3 on my top 10. Why, you may ask? Because in my personal opinion, this is the best death metal album that has dropped this year. If there's something better, I have not heard it. Every song on this album is a banger. Only reason why it's not number 1 or number 2 was there's some times in this album where I'm like, man, I wish this would have went on longer, or man, I wish they would have just added something right here or switched this with this. But I mean, everything is a fucking masterclass at heavy music writing. It's just, you know, what I wanted at the time wasn't exactly what they put out, but it is hard to fucking beat. So these next 2 are in a class of their own, in my opinion. Once again, I'm not telling you you're wrong if you disagree, but you're wrong if you disagree. Top 2. I am a sucker for a band that can release some emotional, heavy, post-hardcore music in 2025. So when Othel came out with World's Fastest Car, you knew I was the world's fastest boy to ever click Spotify. And this shit was like crack to me. This is the other album I was referring to, where I said I just let it play all day for multiple days, and it's like, fuck it, this is my personality now. And a few seconds after where I just stopped that track in the background, that is the opening song, and they have a little insert from a poet that just broke my heart and said, yeah, this is what I'm addicted to now. And every song on this album is equally as heavy and as beautiful as the opening song. And there's like 6, 7 songs? 6, 7. Spotify told me that this was my album of the month for like 2 months. And it's because I keep listening to it, zoning out because of just how much of a vibe it is, and not realizing I already completed the entire thing. And I've listened to it 3 times in one sitting, every single time I listened to it. So I probably listened to this album like 30 times so far. And the only thing that it was really missing for me was just like the sheer heaviness. It's emotionally heavy. There's distorted guitar. I wouldn't say it's heavy though, but it is definitely in the metal hardcore realm of things. This is where this is distant from my number 1 pick. And my number 1...
It's his hat, Mr. Krabs. He was number 1.
Goes to You Are Safe From God Here by the Acacia Strain. This had the replay value of World's Fastest Car. This had the heaviness and balance between hardcore and deathcore that Iron Gate had. This had everything positive about every one of these releases on this list, plus the bangers. Once this album came out, it quickly took over the place of World's Fastest Car. And of course, I had to spread the word. I told people at work, I told people that I'm friends with, I told my wife, and all of them checked it out and just went, bruh. You know an album is good when the band that puts it out has like 25 years of just straight up ass kicking music, and then they hear this new one and they go, damn, this is really fucking good. Like as if they had any doubt at all. In my opinion, this is their best album. It's their best album in at least 17 years. That is saying something, bro. Number 1 goes to You Are Safe From God Here by the Acacia Strain. But that's about it as far as the ranking of music goes. I need to head out real soon. I need to rest. I need to drink some tea. I need to clear this throat. But next week, we are talking about either bands that you have seen the most or movies that you have seen the most. All depending on what my guest spot next week will have in store for me, depending on what realm they dabble in a little bit more than the other. I am talking to Worm Food, local nerd rapper from the New England area, who's going to be on the show I'm playing on tonight at Thirsty First in Lowell, Massachusetts. We are celebrating 6 years of Bars Over Bars, and we are celebrating the birth of my boy J-Vibe. So we're going to come in next week with one of those two topics. I'm trying to promote all my stuff outside of Spotify, so if you see any of my shit online, follow, like, comment, all that shit. Find me on YouTube, Killing Time Podcast. Find me on all my social media at KillMurray603. Thank you for listening, thank you for supporting, and have a great fucking night.